All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday night. How are you doing today? Tonight now is the last night before temperatures will feel like they are above freezing until Monday. Very cold weather that's headed our way. Here's a look at the temperatures across the nation right now. And these are air temperatures. Winds are still pretty gusty behind this front that has been moving through, bringing Arctic cold we haven't seen in decades. There's minus 13 right now in Sioux Falls. That's below zero. Minus 18 in Billings, Montana. 10 below zero in Denver, Colorado. Incredible cold that is moving through the nation right now. And this is coming for us tomorrow morning. And it's really we won't be seeing temperatures go below zero, but they're going to be feeling like almost that, especially as we get towards Christmas Eve morning. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. How are you doing tonight? It's so nice to see you all again. Come chat with me in the chat. Hang out. I got my little laptop here so we can have some fun this evening. Ask me some questions. Anything you want to do, chat about how your day was. It'd be great to see you all and how you're doing. But yeah, hope you're doing amazing. I was completely off the thing, and I don't have my clicker. Let me go grab that really fast so I can actually do a little bit of forecasting for you over here. That could help out so I can switch through some of these graphics. But yeah, here's the nation again. Over the entirety of the nation, it's so cold coming this weekend. And in fact, the worst of it looks to be coming for Christmas Eve morning. Almost the entire nation will be below freezing for Christmas Eve morning, which is absurd. Even Florida, Orlando, Florida, down into the 30s, Miami down into the 40s, very cold, minus 10 in Sioux Falls, 8 degrees in Chicago for Christmas Eve morning, 13 in New York. It's going to be cold. It's going to be extremely cold. And it's already starting to move in over top of us today as well. But again, if you're chatting and watching on Facebook, definitely come and say hi in the chat. Would love to have a little chat with you for tonight. So let's get on for the next little while. This is for the weather alerts that we have out. Millions of people across the nation right now under weather alerts. And for Middle Georgia, there's 2 weather alerts that we have. We have the wind advisory and the wind chill advisory. This means we're expecting winds to be upwards of 40 miles per hour and for wind chills to be below 5 degrees. This is in fact almost for the entire state for these 2 advisories right here. And then for South Georgia, you guys have a hard freeze warning, which means we are expecting temperatures to fall well below freezing for the entire weekend and not coming back up until we get towards Christmas Day and into Monday as well. Very cold for us. If you are traveling anywhere, not going to be a great day, especially for traveling up to the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic, or the Northeast. This is how a really strong low pressure system that's sweeping across the Northeast right now. So for tomorrow, for Friday, if you're flying out to any of these places, you might have some weather delays, especially in portions of like along the I-95 corridor, all the way up throughout the Northeast, because this system will be headed their way and they'll be getting the rain overnight and the snow for early tomorrow morning. Locally, we actually won't have to deal with too much. In the overnight hours, we might have to deal with a little bit of rain. So actually this morning, we're going to be starting out into the 50s, and then we're going to drop temperatures as we move throughout the day, which is kind of crazy. It's a little bit of a backwards day, but this is associated with that cold front. So we might get a little bit of rain here in the early hours of the morning, 2, 3 a.m. when temperatures are well above freezing. And then if the roadways are still wet by the morning when we're heading out the door, if it's still wet, temperatures fall right below freezing in a matter of a few hours. And that could be causing the roadways that were wet to freeze and refreeze, causing some black ice and the roadways to become like an ice rink. So that's some dangerous parts out for then. But that's the biggest threat that we're seeing through. Rain chances are relatively low. Actually, not a lot of moisture behind the front for us. But throughout the day tomorrow, temperatures for Macon still going to be into the 20s and into the teens by the afternoon. Going to be very cold, and the winds will be bad for tomorrow. Upwards of 40 miles per hour. We have that wind advisory in place. The good news is that the sun will be out, so it will be dry by the afternoon for all of us. So traveling locally, just going to have to deal with some winds, and it's in the morning. Might have to deal with some black ice out there. So as you're heading out the door tomorrow, stay weather aware just in case we do have any of that black ice. That can cause some very dangerous conditions on the road for us. Let me pull up the Albany one as well. It will be a little bit warmer for you, but not by much. We again start out in the 50s. Temperatures plummeting as you're waking up tomorrow morning, already down below freezing by 9 in the morning. And then we have the teens, the wind chills. The winds are upwards of 40 miles per hour tomorrow. Incredibly blustery day. Wind chills down to the 20s and the teens by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. A very cold day for us. And we will stay in these temperatures and the wind chills below freezing for the entire weekend until we get towards Monday, which is insane and crazy. So if we time this out again, so right now we're pretty dry right now in the southeast. We're going to get a little bit of rain and that's going to be coming over for Georgia. Not a lot of rain. We're not really seeing any flooding, just maybe a few sprinkles, some light showers that come through in the overnight hours tonight. But again, if you're traveling up along the northeast into the mid-Atlantic, even the Midwest, you might have some traveling plans if you're going to be flying out there. Some delays are possible, but it's really going to be pretty okay, I think, for traveling here. Just going to be really windy, but at least the sun will be out, but it's cold. It will be extremely cold. Cold that we haven't seen since 1989, almost 35 years. That's 33 years away from 2022. The worst of the cold will be coming for Christmas Eve morning. Almost the entire nation, temperatures are below freezing and wind chills down to the single digits, I think, for all of us. This is at 3 a.m. This is a little bit earlier than when you're waking up. I think the entire state will be under or down to one single digit, maybe a few of us into the double digits, but you're still into the teens and the low digits, and winds are still howling at 20 miles an hour with gusts for Saturday, Christmas Eve, and only climbing into the 20s for Christmas Eve dinner. Don't tell me that, it's so cold. But again, if you're just joining us, don't be afraid to say hello in the comments. I'd love to come and chat with you. Maybe everyone is saying hello and it's not loading. Facebook likes to do that to me sometimes. I'd like this to be a little two-way street we've got going on here. Wait, I think there's one comment. Is there? Oh, hi, Shauna. Yeah, there is. Sorry if I didn't say that earlier. There's no chance of snow really for us. We're not really expecting any snow, barely even expecting any rain. Honestly, there's not going to be a lot of moisture behind this front. So the threat that we do see, if it does rain in the morning, then we could be seeing some black ice in the morning. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Rose. How are you all doing today? Thanks for chatting with me. I'm trying to keep up with this. I don't know what. I'm clearly not good at Facebook. I have this. The reason I'm leaning over here is I have my little laptop, and that's making me be able to see the comments. I'm gonna try to keep refreshing them because I don't know how to make this thing completely updated. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'll refresh every 2 minutes or so that we can say hello. Because I definitely want to chat with you, say hello, ask any questions. How you doing today? Anything even just a little hello. Nice to be talking to y'all. And then waking up for Christmas morning, it's still going to be a little bit breezy for Christmas morning. Winds still gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour. I think the winds do start to diminish as we get towards Christmas afternoon, but waking up into the teens with the wind chills and then climbing up to right around freezing, the wind should begin to calm down by Sunday, but really into the Monday. That's when the winds will be nice and calm again. Back to work on Monday, unless some of you don't work, because I know Monday is still considered the holiday from Christmas, so might still have off for Monday. It'll be better though if you have any plans for next Monday or for this Monday coming up after the holiday weekend is over. So I'm going to hit you with a few stats as well. This looks to be the coldest Christmas Eve on record in Macon. These are average temperatures, which means we averaged together the high and the low. The record right now is set back in 1989 with 23.5 degrees for the average temperature. I'm forecasting that the average temperature for Christmas is going to be right at 23 flat, which means it will actually break the record set back in 1989. But we've had quite a few ones. 1983, we were 26 degrees average. Quite a few of us below freezing, but these were all back into the 20th century. And I've got some more stats that I've actually can show you now that I've got some time. There's a lot of stats to go through. So let me pull up what should we start with? Let's go. I've showed this earlier today. These are the coldest wind chills. We'll start with Macon and then I'll move down to Albany. This is actually not even close to the coldest we will go for wind chills. The last time we made it below zero for the wind chills was back in 1994, and we won't have that this weekend. We won't get below zero, but we're going to get close to it. But we've had several days where we have actually made it very far below zero. 1985 being the coldest of minus 26 degrees. That's kind of crazy. We won't get nearly that. I don't think we're going to see any negatives for us in middle or southwest Georgia for us, which is some good news for us as well. These are the coldest Christmas Eve high temperatures. All right, so we could do this one as well. The coldest Christmas Eve high temperature is 30. I can't remember exactly what I forecasted for this. I think it's right around 30 for the air, and these are air temperatures, but you meant, again, the feels like temperatures stuck into the 20s, but it's still going to be the coldest Christmas Eve on record for us. I'm sure it probably will be, at least. It's looking like it's going to be very cold. We can move to Christmas Day as well. Actually, wait, that's the Albany market. Let's not confuse everybody. Christmas Day, low temperatures. There's a lot happening. I'm like halfway off the screen. I'm sorry. So for Christmas low temperatures, we're expecting Christmas low temperatures, air temperatures to be stuck around 18 or 19 degrees. So that's not going to be the coldest for Christmas. When you average those temperatures out like we did for the few graphics ago, it looks to be about the second coldest Christmas on record, but still back into the 80s when we really had this cold weather. Back into 1989, I think, is when we'll be beating this 3-day stretch coming for the entire weekend when you average all the weather and the temperatures together throughout the entire weekend. So let's go to the coldest wind chills in Albany in Southwest Georgia. The last time we got down to 0 degrees and past that was 2001. We actually got to minus 22 degrees in 2001. Again, we're not going to be getting down below 0 with this system coming on through, but we'll get close to it, down to the single digits. But we've definitely gotten a lot colder throughout the past years. 2001 was the last time we got that. If anyone does remember that, that would be kind of awesome. Unfortunately, I was very young at that time and was not remembering that. Let me refresh the page to see if we've got anybody that's saying hey. Definitely want to chat with you still. If you're here along with me, don't be afraid to say hello in the chat. Love to hang out with y'all. But that's really still quite interesting for us. Let me show you maybe one more stat here, then we'll get through the rest of the weekend. Christmas Eve, coldest high temperatures for the Albany area. Again, around 30 degrees, 1989. That's really what we're basing off this cold from coming in about 33 years ago. I don't think we'll get to the coldest Christmas Eve in Albany. I think we'll be about the second or third, but definitely for the Macon market. Looks like we're going to be getting to that coldest Christmas Eve on record for us. So let's break this down. Actually, I already did that for the entirety of the weekend. But here's your day planner then for tomorrow. Let's just break this down. Tomorrow morning, temperatures will be dropping throughout the day. We will all be well below freezing. The sunshine is out, but those winds will still be upwards of 40 miles per hour. And be careful in the morning if we do have any of that black ice that might fall as rain early around 2 or 3 o'clock and then refreeze by the time we get towards 7 or 8. Just stay weather aware as you're heading out the door tomorrow, because driveways, sidewalks, all that will be very slick if it does begin to freeze over like that. We're still not expecting a lot of rain, so we won't be seeing widespread black ice, I don't think, but it's still the potential for that really to be set in place. Let's break this all down really with the 10-day together. We've got the weather warn days still in place for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures are falling throughout the day for Friday. Winds upwards of 40 miles per hour. The sun shines out for the whole weekend, but it's extremely cold. High of only 32 on Saturday, 38 on Sunday. When you factor in the wind chills, we're stuck into the 20s in the afternoon, stuck into the teens in the mornings. I didn't read that. Wait, I didn't read that lower third. Something about temperatures drop tomorrow. Temperatures dropping tomorrow. That is right. Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to want the layers, because it will be extremely cold again for Southwest Georgia. So we got the weather warn days out for the entire weekend. Temperatures stuck below freezing until we get towards Monday with the feels like temperatures and the wind chills. Mornings starting out into the teens and 20s, and afternoons only into those 20s as well. Extreme cold coming. Temperatures are rebounding nicely as we get towards next weekend. Wear layers tomorrow. I agree. Look at this, 70s. This is New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Temperatures tracking above average. Our average is 63 degrees. So we are tracking some rain possible, but at least it'll be warm. I don't know. Actually, here's a question for you. If you're here in the chat, would you rather want the cold and the dry or the rain and the warm? I think I'd personally want the cold and the dry, because I feel like if you're trying to go out and do things and you have plans and it's raining, I think I'd rather have it cold, because then you don't have to worry about being outside and have the umbrella and the hood. I think I'd rather have it cold and have the extra layers on and then come inside and then be fine. But you can also come inside when it's raining too. Cold and dry or rain and warm? Which one is it? Let me know. Let me know which one it is, because honestly, that's an interesting question for me. I don't know what I would choose, honestly. No, I would do cold and dry. I would do cold and dry. Rose says cold and dry. I agree too, Rose. Come on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, Catherine also says cold and dry. Winter is supposed to be cold. I agree. I personally like it when it's cold and dry and not windy. So this weekend isn't perfect for me. I do like it when it's cold and not windy though. So I feel like next Monday and Tuesday, the sun's out, temperatures in the 50s. Perfect right there. Especially now that we are in the full of winter today. That is just super crazy. So let's go through one more time and time this all out just so that we're completely aware how cold it's going to get throughout the entire weekend. There is an acronym that people like to remember when it gets this cold. I'm going to try to remember. It's the 4 Ps. It's people, plants, pets, and pipes, because of just how cold it's going to be. You're not going to want to be outside. Trek on the people that you can. Keep your pets inside for long. If you have any harsh plants that don't like the cold, definitely want to bring them inside as well in the pipes, just in case you don't want those to freeze into the overnight hours, and especially throughout the weekend, because temperatures below freezing starting tomorrow and lasting until Monday for us. So let's time this out for tomorrow and then for the weekend, and then I'll head out because I got to get ready for the news coming up at 10. You can't actually see this down here. We can see the time right here on the camera lens, but you can't see that. So tomorrow we start out in the 50s. We have a few chances for some rain in the morning, and then it gets extremely cold throughout the day. Hi, Sheila. How are you? And hi, Henry. Rain and warm? Just stay in. Same difference. Okay, it is the same difference if you stay in, if it is rainy and warm. But if you have any plans, I feel like I'd rather go out in the cold than go out in the rain. I feel like I'd rather go out in the cold than the rain. But here for this, temperatures are well below freezing for tomorrow. Wind chills stuck into the teens. Traveling locally, the sun will be out, but the winds are upwards of 40 miles per hour for tomorrow. Very, very blustery. And the coldest looks to be coming for Christmas Eve morning. Wind chills down into the single digits. Winds still gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour. We only climb into the 20s for Christmas Eve afternoon. You definitely do not want to be outside for as long as possible. You want to be into the warmth, especially for Christmas Eve. Waking up Christmas morning, I think it's still going to be a little gusty out there. Winds still upwards of 20 miles per hour. Then we start out in the teens and we warm up to right near freezing. I think the winds begin to calm down. See some of that lighter blue, and so the greens start to pile up as we get towards Christmas afternoon. And then back towards Monday, that's when we'll get to above freezing, feels like temps. And the wind gusts, that is true. The wind will be gusty for us. So I think I'll leave you off with just one more thing as I start to walk over to be able to turn it off. I'm going to leave you, where am I? I am here. I'm going to leave you with some of the wind alerts, the weather alerts that we have. We have the wind advisory that's set in place. That means winds are going to be upwards of 40 miles per hour for tomorrow, for Friday. The wind's still 20 miles an hour for Saturday and Sunday. We have a wind chill advisory. Those first two are for the whole state. Wind chill advisory means wind chills below 5 degrees, which will be coming for Christmas Eve morning especially. And then we have the hard freeze warning for South Georgia, which means we're expecting temperatures to stay below freezing for the entire weekend. We haven't had a hard freeze like this yet in the season, but we haven't seen cold like this for this 3-day stretch since 1989, 33 years. And with that, I will leave you all off for a good night. Don't forget that I will have more updates on this on Fox 24, on WGXA News at 10 on Fox 24 for Middle Georgia, and Fox 31 for South Georgia, and WGXA News at 11 on ABC 16. Have a good night, everyone.